You ever find it crazy that as you start to progress in life, as you start to grow and finally pursue onto bigger things and achieve everything you want and start achieving, growing such, getting a better body, getting building a relationship, having healthier, having more friends, or making more building your income, all these things. Do we not notice that people start to feel envious and start to try and bring you back down to who you were, right? Sometimes people don't change because you became worse. They change because your growth changes the role that they used to play in your life, right? Sometimes people don't change when you do better because they hate you. Sometimes they change because they don't know who to be around the new version of you and they don't know themselves, right? When you start doing better, people can react weird, right? And I don't think it's always pure hate. Sometimes your growth just makes people uncomfortable because it changes the old dynamic, right? I've had that happen multiple times. You know, I remember when I was at my biggest, and every time that I was just at my biggest, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was like making fun of for being bigger and making fun of for being fat. It was like, when the easy jokes, right? And it's like, as I lost weight, you know, there was less and less things to talk about me, you know? And so they found something else to talk about. And it stung for a while, but now it really doesn't affect me no more. So it's going crazy when I do see people again, because life happens. I may end up seeing some people again. I wonder what they're gonna try to do this time, right? Some people knew how to relate to the old you, the distracted you, the insecure you, the always available you, the always on your phone you, the always saying you're gonna do something but not doing it, the always inconsistent you, the version who explained way too much. That was me. I explained way too much. I told him my plans from inside out and I never did it because I felt the dopamine from just telling people my plans. I have felt more dopamine just doing this stuff, getting everything done and not telling them or letting people see it than telling them what happened. The one who tolerated too much, I tolerated way too much in my life growing up. And I won't ever undo it because I wouldn't learn the lessons that I needed to learn to become who I am today. So I would never be someone like, I regret this. Maybe me in the past would have, yeah, but me now, I don't regret it. It's cool, right? The one who stayed on the same level as them, as you grow, you're going to grow distance. You're going to have people that envy you because you did the things that they wanted to do and they just didn't do it because they just didn't have the willpower or wasn't willing to go through the hard parts to do. The most changes I've made in my life were from when I accepted the hard parts. That was the most amount of change I've ever made in my life. Every single time was when I accepted the hard parts that came with it. The days where I feel like not doing it. The days where I feel like, man, is this the right thing? Or, man, am I sure? You know what I'm saying? Those days. When I accepted those days was when I truly became and continue to become who I want to be. When you change, the old version of you they were comfortable with is no longer available. So then they feel some kind of inferiorness and insecurity. So they start bad mouthing you or start talking and start leaving hints under what they're saying, double meanings and all these negative things, right? Your progress can become a mirror as to what people are avoiding in themselves. Sometimes when you improve, it can remind people of what they are avoiding in themselves. Your discipline, your confidence, your peace in yourself and who you're around and what's going on in the world and or direction can accidentally or accidentally expose their lack of movement, their lack of effort, their lack of doing it, right? One of my friends, you know what I'm saying? Cool, good guy, right? I remember when he'd tell me like, yo, bro, I'm saying, tell like these girls, right? Like he wanted to go for one of them. And then when I asked him to update, he'd be like, nah, bro, I just ain't do it. And I'm just like, you said you want them. and you don't want to at least try, you know? And it's like, I'm not trying to act like I'm better. Like, I go through that still today, you know what I'm saying? I'm not perfect. But it's like, I'm just a person, like, stop mentioning it over and over if you're not going to do it. You know what I'm saying? I want him to do it. I want him to succeed in that endeavor. I want him to be happy. But it's like, you're not going to be happy if you keep thinking in that mindset of like, I'm going to do it. And then you just never do it. So when you improve in life, it reminds people of what they're avoiding in themselves, right? Now, when that happens, people are going to do things to you to be out of spite. They're going to hurt you. They're going to do things because that's how humanity is. And what I want you to do is simple. Don't let it phase you. Don't let it burn you. Don't let it bring you down. Don't let it hurt you. I know it may feel and sting in the moment, right? But you can't let it hurt you. As much as it may sting in the moment, as much as you may want to get revenge and do all these things, you can't let it hurt you. You have to let go. Even if it may be hard in the moment to do so, you have to let go. Truly let go. At the subconscious level, let go. Because you know what you're building towards and you know what you're trying to become, right? You don't have to hate people because they react to your growth, right? Some people need time to accept who you become. Some people need distance, and some people just don't need to be in your life. It's okay. There are cycles where you meet people who have been around you for 10 years and they just can't cooperate with the new version of you and all the boundaries and stuff you put up and things that you just won't tolerate anymore, you know? They want you to be the person who tolerates everything. They want you to be the person that allows everything to happen. You know, they want you to be the person that they could just do whatever and just embarrass you and all these things, right? But you gotta be willing to, if they're doing that, just say no and not be around those people, because some people need to grow their own. They need to have their own journeys of growth. Some happen later than others, and some may never happen. And those people are going to be the ones who get left behind. And it's unfortunate because you want to see your friends and people around you who you care about succeed. But you need to understand that as you're growing, you're going to leave people behind because they just truly don't understand the concept of growing up and growing as a person, right? Some people may grow with you later and some don't. It sucks, but it's true. I feel like people don't understand the concept of discernment, right? Discernment is knowing who needs patience, who needs distance from your life, and who no longer gets access to your life. We gotta understand the concept of cutting people off, and not the unhealthy Gen Z version of cutting people off, where the second they do one spiteful thing or one thing, we cut them off, right? And we love being in our peace when it's just avoiding meeting people because we've been hurt in our lives before. No, no. Cutting off is when someone does something so bad or does things that over and over and over to a point where it's like, yo, you don't need to be in my life anymore. That's what true cutting off is. You do something, they do something to truly betray your trust in them as a person, and you have to cut them off because of that. You have to remove them from your life. Some people need distance. Some people don't need, you know what I'm saying? You can love people from a distance. You don't have to be around them to care for them. That's probably probably the most caring thing you can do for a person is not be around them when they're in their worst state, and just hope that they get better, because sometimes the absence of people can be what someone needs to change and grow. When they see that their friends aren't around there anymore, they're not around who they used to be, and they're like, whoa, what happened? And they come to reality and say, oh man, I need to work on this stuff, right? You know, and some may not, and that's just life. Some people just need patience and time to grow into who you're trying to become, who you are becoming, right? And I'm not saying this like I'm above everybody. You know, I've been through it. I've been through the rough. And if I allowed everything that's ever happened to me to dictate how I am today, I would not be a kind person. I would not be a person. I may not even be here today. Being honest, right? I've probably been the first person who's felt weird when someone else started changing too. I definitely have. I've definitely felt that. I felt off. I'd be like, damn, why you change? You know what I'm saying? You don't text me no more. You don't talk to me no more. And whether it's changing for the good or for the bad, for the worse, right? And that's why I try to look at it always with awareness and not ego, right? And it sucks when people do that and people change. And when you change and grow in a healthy format and people just can't accept the new you. And so they try and do stuff that would face the old you. So, but when that doesn't work, they'll try something new and it does get to you. And they know they got you. And it sucks because people, I was like, why do people do that? Like, it sucks. Like, why are we like this, you know? And that's a question only God can answer, bro. Right? When you grow, some people adjust, some people resist, and some people reveal why they were only comfortable with the old you, and some people reveal who they truly are. It's like this one Spider-Man quote from Green Goblin of all people, right? And he was like, "We all wear masks, Spider-Man, but which one is real? The one that hides our face, or the one that is our face?" We all wear masks, but which one is real, right? When we grow, once again, some people will adjust, some will resist, and some will reveal why they were only comfortable with the old version of you, and some will break your trust, some will hurt you, some will do whatever it is in their power to bring you back to the version that they're comfortable with because they can't do it for themselves. They can't grow themselves, or they don't have the ability to grow themselves, or they just don't. I don't know. But I love all y'all. I want y'all to grow, and as y'all grow, be okay with being distant from people and be okay with having patience in this journey. Peace.